dear learners, for this course on design of machine elements 2. In this final module, we are discussing on design of brakes, clutches and bearings. In our previous lecture, we have started our discussion on design of bearings and we have discussed some important topics regarding lubrication and bearing, and also we have derived Petrov's equation for lightly loaded bearing. From today's lecture, we are ready to start numerical problems on design of bearings. The problem number 1 of our discussion on journal bearing states that a 75 mm long full journal bearing of diameter 75 mm supports a load of 10 kilonewtons. The speed of journal is 1200 rpm. The absolute viscosity of oil is 10 to the power of minus 2 pascal second, and diametric clearance ratio is 0.001. Determine the coefficient of friction by using Petrov's equation, Mackey's equation and Raimondi and Boyd curve. Let us solve this problem. If I list out the data given for problem number 1, we have the length of the bearing is 75 millimeters and the diameter is also specified 75 mm, which is supporting a load W of 10 kilonewtons. The speed of the journal capital N is 1200 rpm. The absolute viscosity Z is 10 to the power of minus 2 pascal second, and he has given the diametric clearance capital C as 0.001. Diametric clearance ratio, he has given a clearance ratio that is Xi. So since he states it is a diametric clearance, it is diametric clearance by diameter is the diametric clearance ratio. Determine coefficient of friction. So this is the question what he has asked. If I move for solution, coming for Petrov's equation from our data handbook, if you refer equation 15.4a, we have coefficient of friction F is equal to, that is for Petrov's equation, F is equal to 2 pi square into 10 to the power of minus 6 times Zn by P times R by small c. This is equation 15.4a of our design data handbook. Now if I substitute all the values and solve, I will get coefficient of friction as, here we don't know the bearing pressure P, so therefore calculate bearing pressure first. We know that bearing pressure P is equal to load by projected area L into D, which is equation 15.6 C of page 355 of our data handbook. If I substitute the values and solve, I will get the bearing pressure as load is 10 kilonewton, 10 into 10 power 3 divided by L into D is 75 into 75. So I will get the bearing pressure P as 1.77. So it is recurring, so I will take it as 1.7778 megapascals. Now we know all the values. We have to substitute the parameters in this equation. We should maintain the units which are given in the first page of unit 15 of our data handbook. Page number 349. So for units refer page number 349. Very, very important. Here small n stands for RPS. So therefore small n is capital N by 60, that is 120 by 6, which is nothing but 20 RPS. We know all the values. If I substitute, I will get the coefficient of friction from Petrov's equation as 2 into pi square into 10 to the power of minus 6 into Z is 10 to the power of minus 2 into small n is 20 divided by P should be in megapascals, which is 1.7778 into R by C. R by C is nothing but capital C by D. both are same. This is because of the reason diametrical clearance is 2 times the radial clearance, diameter is 2 times the radius. So this is nothing but radial clearance by radius. Hope the concept is clear. So therefore I can substitute this as 1 over z, that is 1 by 0.001. Hence if I substitute and solve, I will get the coefficient of friction from Petrov's equation as 2 into pi square into 10 to the power of minus 6 into z is 10 to the power of minus 2, n is 20, divided by p is 1.7778. This is multiplied by 1 over z. Z is 0.001. That is diametrical clearance ratio. Hence, I will get the coefficient of friction from Petrov's equation as 2.2206 into 10 to the power of minus 3 is the coefficient of friction from Petrov's equation. Now if I move for Mackey's equation, from equation 15.4b, Mackey's equation is given by F is equal to Ka Zn by P into R by C whole multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 10 plus delta F. This is equation 15.4b, referring to page 353 of the data handbook. There itself he has given the value of Ka. Ka is 0.195 into 10 to the power of plus 6 for full general bearing. So since he has not stated anything, we can solve for full general bearing, and the value of delta F is 0.002. So therefore, if I substitute all the values and solve, I will get the answer as Ka is 0.195 into 10 to the power of 6 into the value of Z is 10 to the power of minus 2 into n is 20 divided by P is 1.7778. This is multiplied by 1 over z. 1 over z is 0.001. This whole thing is multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 10 plus 0.002. So the solution will be coefficient of friction from Mackey's equation is 4.194 into 10 to the power of minus 3. The coefficient of friction from Mackey's equation is 4.194 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Unless otherwise specified, always we should use Mackey's equation only for lightly loaded bearings. Then we should use Petrov's equation. Now moving ahead, he is stating to solve using Raimondi-Boyd curve. That is figure 15.6, 15.7, 15.8 and 15.9 are called as Raimondi-Boyd curves, which are available in our data handbook. If we ask to solve using Raimondi-Boyd curve, no need to worry, nothing big in it. It is just use graphs and solve. That's all. For coefficient of friction, we should refer figure 15.7. So from figure 15.7, referring to page 355, we have x-axis as Sommerfeld number S is equal to R by C whole square into Z capital N by P into 10 to the power of minus 6. A very careful observation is that here we should use capital N. Capital N stands for RPM. So if you have any doubt in units, always refer page number 349. So if I substitute all the values, I will get the x-axis as R by C is 1 by Z, that is 0.001 whole square into Z is 10 to the power of minus 2 into 1200 divided by P is 1.078 into 10 to the power of minus 6. If I solve, I will get the dimensioned Sommerfeld number as 1 by 0.001 whole square into 10 to the power of minus 2 multiplied by 1200 divided by 1.7778 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So the answer is 6.75 seconds per minute. The unit is seconds per minute, and we have the graph for beta. So therefore we know that for full bearing beta is 360 degree. Hence if I intersect the graph, I will get S versus R by C into F is dimensionless, and we have the values of beta. So if I intersect for 6, and here if I do like this, I will get the answer as 1.9. So therefore for S is equal to 6.75 and beta is equal to 360 degree, we have quotient of friction variable R by C into friction is equal to 1.9 from the graph I calculated. So therefore quotient of friction F is equal to 1.9 into C by R, which is nothing but 1.9 into xi. Hence quotient of friction is 1.9 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So this is the complete solution for problem number 1. So this is how you should solve whenever it is asked to solve using Raymond-Boyd curve. Raymond-Boyd curve is nothing but solve using graphs. That's it. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we'll solve problem number 2. Next, moving ahead, the problem number 2 states that SAE20 automobile oil is used to lubricate a hydrodynamic general bearing of diameter 75 mm and length 75 mm. Oil enters at 40 degrees Celsius. The journal rotates at 1200 rpm. The diametrial clearance is 75 micron meter. Bearing pressure is 0.985 megapascal. Assuming operating temperature of oil as 53 degrees Celsius, and determine magnitude of the minimum film thickness, power loss, oil flow through the bearing, and side leakage. Let us solve this problem. If I move for data given for problem number 2, we have SAE20 automobile oil. SAE20 automobile oil has a diameter of 75 millimeters and length L is also 75 mm. The entry temperature Ti is given, which is 40 degrees Celsius. The journal rotates, since it is in RPM, it is given capital N, which is 1200. The diametrical clearance is given, so it is capital C, which is 75 micron meter, that is 10 to the power of minus 6 meter, which is nothing but 0.075 millimeters, 10 to the power of minus 3. Bearing pressure is given, which is 0.985 megapascals. Assume operating temperature TO, operating temperature as 53 degrees Celsius. Calculate magnitude of minimum film thickness H0, that is H minimum, power loss due to friction, power loss due to friction F P mu, oil flow Q, and leakage. This is what he has asked. Let us move for solving the problem. Whenever we want to find the minimum film thickness, we should refer the figure. So therefore, to find the minimum film thickness, I should refer always figure 15.9 present in page number 356. Present in page number 356 of our design data handbook, wherein which we have the x-axis as Sommerfeld number, which is given by R by C whole square into Z capital N by P times 10 to the power of minus 6. Now if you observe, I know diametrical clearance and diameter, so therefore I can write xi, which is equal to capital C by D, which is equal to small c by r, which can be calculated, which will be turning out to be 0.075 divided by diameter is 75, that is 0.075 by 75, which is 10 to the power of minus 3, dimensionless. So we got xi, we know n, we know p, but we don't know z, that is viscosity. So to find viscosity, he has given the grade of type of oil, find the grade. So for SAE 20 automobile oil, refer table 15.1. From table 15.1, it is not figure, it is table 15.1, referring to page 363 of our data handbook. We have for SAE 20 automobile oil, the oil grade is E grade, and is also given the specific gravity at 15 degrees Celsius is 0.9254. Now using the oil grade, we can find the kinematic viscosity referring to figure 15.3. Now from figure 15.3 of page 352, for oil grade E and operating temperature TO is equal to 53 degrees Celsius. If I intersect, we have graph like this. Here we have the temperature, operating temperature in degrees Celsius at 53, and we have the grade E going like this. This is for grade E. If I intersect grade E and measure, I see that the kinematic viscosity in centi-Stokes. Kinematic viscosity in centi-Stokes can be measured as, it is turning out to be 36 centi-Stokes. Is what I found out from figure 15.3 referring to page 352. We have temperature along top x-axis in degree Celsius. Take 53 degree, drop a perpendicular to E grade oil. So project horizontally, we will find that kinematic viscosity is 36. In that page itself, we have the conversion to find the value of dynamic viscosity. In the same page at the bottom, that is in page number 352 itself, he has given the conversion. So the conversion is that kinematic viscosity is equal to 36 centi-Stokes, which is equal to 36 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter square per second. Now we know that the dynamic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is dynamic viscosity by density. Now I don't know the value of density of oil SAE 20 SAE 20 automobile oil whose grade is E. So to find density, let us calculate the specific gravity at 53 degrees Celsius. At 15 degrees Celsius it is 0.9254, but at any temperature we have the equation to find specific gravity as specific gravity at any temperature is given by specific gravity at 15 degrees Celsius minus 0.00063 times T degrees minus 15. This is equation number 15.1F of page number 350. So therefore, specific gravity at 53 degrees Celsius will become, specific gravity at 15 degrees Celsius is 0.9254 minus 0.00063 multiplied by 53 minus 15, which is turning out to be 0.90146. Now we know that density is equal to specific gravity at 53 degrees into 1000. Hence, the density of the oil is 901.46 kg per meter cube. So substitute to this equation, I will get dynamic viscosity as kinematic viscosity is 36 into 10 to the power of minus 6 multiplied by density is 901.46. Hence, dynamic viscosity will be 36 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 901.46, which is nothing but 0.03245 pascals second. So we got the dynamic viscosity. So hence we know all the values. So therefore the x-axis will become, the Sommerfeld number will be 1 by z, 1 by 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square multiplied by 0.03245 into 1200 divided by, pressure is given 0.985 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So therefore S will be 1 by 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square multiplied by 0.03245 into 1200 divided by 0.985 whole multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 6. So I get dimensioned Sommerfeld number as 39.5 seconds per minute. So if I refer figure 15.9 page number 356 for S is equal to 39.5 and beta is equal to 360 degrees, we will get H0 by C as, from that figure which is 15.9, I found out that H0 by radial clearance 0.96, but I want diametrical clearance, so therefore H0 is equal to 0.96 into diametrical clearance by 2. So what we have is radial clearance, but what he is given is diametrical clearance. So therefore radial clearance is diametrical clearance by 2. So if I substitute and solve, I will get the minimum oil thickness as 0.96 into 0.075 by 2, which is nothing but 0.036 mm. 0.036 millimeter, which is nothing but 36 micron meters is the minimum oil film thickness required. So calculated the first point what he has asked, Next, moving to find the coefficient of power loss. We have the power loss equation as, that is, moving to find the power loss. We know that power loss is given by equation 15.6b, that is 2 pi by 10 to the power of 6 torque times the RPS. This is 15.6b of page 355, where torque is given by friction W load into R. This is equation 15.68, referring to same page 355. Now I want friction, which is given by Mackey's equation. Just now we have calculated in problem number 1, which is given by Ka into Zn by P into R by C can be written as 1 by xi into 10 to the power of minus 10 plus delta F. This you already know, which is equation 15.4b of page 353, where Ka is given as 0.195 into 10 to the power of 6 for full journal bearing. So since he has not specified anything, we are considering it as full journal bearing, and delta F is 0.002. So therefore, if I substitute all the values and solve, I get the coefficient of friction as 0.195 into 10 to the power of 6 multiplied by Z is 0.03245 into small n. Small n is RPS, that is 1200 by 60 is 20 divided by P. P is pressure, which is given 0.985. This has to be multiplied by 1 by xi, 1 by 10 power minus 3 whole multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 10 plus 0.002. Hence the coefficient of friction for this problem is 0.0148. 0.0148. Now substitute this in torque equation. I will get torque as 0.0148 into load is not given, pressure. Load is pressure into length into diameter, because pressure is load by LD. So therefore, load will become pressure into LD. Hence, I will get the torque, and finally I will get the power loss for this problem. Torque will be 0.0148 into pressure is 0.985 into L is 75, D is also 75 into radius is 75 by 2. Hence I will get the answer as 3075 Newton millimeter. So substitute into equation 15.6b, I will get 2 into pi divided by 10 to the power of 6 whole multiplied by torque times RPS is 20. Hence I will get the answer as 0.3864 kilowatts. Unit is kilowatts. Here itself you write small n is 1200 by 60, which is 20 RPS. So the power loss is 0.3864 kilowatts. Moving ahead to find the oil flow through the bearing. So we have C, oil flow. To find oil flow, first we should find the flow variable from the graph. So from figure, find the flow variable from figure 15.13 of page 358 for Sommerfeld number is equal to 40, second per minute, and beta is equal to 360 degrees. You get flow variable FLB as 3.1. You have the flow variable as 3.1, and also from another figure, that is figure 15.14 of same page 358, we will get the flow correction factor KQ as for B by L, that is B is pi d, length along the direction of rotation, that is B is equal to pi d by L. So here diameter and length are same, so therefore I can cancel off L and D, hence B by L is equal to 3.14, and we already calculated the value of H naught by C. H naught by C is 0.96, which is nearly equal to 1. So from that graph I will find that KQ is equal to 5.4. So therefore Q without leakage is equal to flow variable times RCNL. This is equation 15.8b. Find the value. Flow with leakage is FLB times RCNL into KQ. This is equation 15.8c. Find the value, and finally I can find the side leakage as flow with leakage minus flow without leakage. Is the side leakage. So flow without leakage will be, flow variable is 3.1, radius is 75 by 2, into radial clearance is diametrical clearance by 2, that is 0.075 by 2, into L is 1200, into length is 75, which is turning out to be 392,344 millimeter cube per minute. So this answer is multiplied by correction factor. Correction factor is 5.4. I'll get with leakage as 21,18,656 millimeter cube per minute. Hence the difference is the leakage, that is this answer minus 3,92,344, which is turning out to be 17,26,312 mm cube per minute. So the solution for this problem is, we have the minimum oil field thickness as 0.036 mm, power loss is 0.3864 kilowatts. The coming for oil flow without leakage is 3,92,344 millimeter cube per minute, with side leakage is 21,18,656 millimeter cube per minute, and side leakage is the difference of oil flow with leakage minus oil flow without leakage. The difference is 17,26,312 millimeter cube per minute. So this is the complete solution for problem number 2. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we will solve the final problem of today's lecture. Now moving ahead, the problem number 3 states that a journal bearing 75 mm long supports a load of 7.3 kilonewtons on a 50 mm diameter journal turning at 750 rpm. The diametrical clearance is 0.07 millimeters. For equilibrium, what should be the viscosity of oil if the temperature of the bearing surface is to be limited to 75 degrees Celsius when still air is at 20 degrees Celsius? Let us solve this problem. If I move for problem number 3, we have a general bearing of length 75 mm, supports a load of 7.3 kilonewtons on a 50 mm diameter journal turning at capital N 750 rpm. The diametric clearance is 0.07 millimeter. So for equilibrium, he says, so for equilibrium, heat generated should be equal to heat dissipated. This you people should know. For equilibrium, heat generated should be equal to heat dissipated. If the bearing temperature Tb is 75 degrees Celsius and air temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. He is asking us to calculate the value of viscosity of oil. Now, since we have the condition heat generation is equal to heat dissipation, let us solve heat dissipation first. If I go for heat dissipation, we have Hd is given by equation 15.1c, which is Kp Ld into 10 to the power of minus 6. This is equation 15.1c of page number 360, where Kp is again given by Tb minus Ta plus 18 whole square divided by small kp. Now coming for the value of small kp, for still air, he has given it as 0.484. You can refer page number 361 for bearing in still air. So this is available in page number 361. So hence the value of Kp will be Tb is 75 minus 20 plus 18 whole square by 0.484. So if I substitute and solve, I will get heat dissipation as 75 minus 20 plus 80 whole square divided by 0.484, which is nothing but 11010.33 watts. Now, if I, sorry, it is Kp, right? 11010.33 is Kp. So therefore, substitute the value of Kp here. So Kp into Ld. L is 75, T is 50, all multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 6, which is 41.288 watts. Note down, L and D must be in millimeters, which is evident for us in the beginning of chapter 15 in the data handbook itself. We have specified the units. So we know Hd. Now for equilibrium we know that Hg should be equal to Hd. Hg is FWV. This is equation 15.11a, referring to same page 360. This is 15.11c. Now if I substitute all the values, I will get Hg as coefficient of friction into load is pressure into Ld into velocity is pi d n by 1000. Here itself he has given, hence Hg will become, F is unknown, we know W directly, so therefore I can substitute directly the value of W, no need to worry, we know the value of W directly. Hence if I substitute all the values and solve, I will get in terms of F as W is 7.3 into 10 to the power of 3 multiplied by pi times D is 50 into small n is 750 by 60 RPX. 750 by 60 into 1000, which is turning out to be 14,333.516 F. So equating for equilibrium, we have Hg is equal to Hd, hence 14,333.516 F is equal to Hd is 41.288. Hence the coefficient of friction will be 41.288 divided by answer, that is 2.88 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So we got coefficient of friction. Now use Mackey's equation, we will get the dynamic viscosity. Now from Mackey's equation, is known for as F is equal to Ka Zn by P into R by C into 10 power minus 10 plus delta F, which is nothing but equation 15.4b, where Ka is 0.195 into 10 to the power of plus 6 and delta F is 0.002. Hence if I substitute and solve, I will get 2.88 into 10 to the power of minus 3 is equal to 0.195 into 10 to the power of 6 multiplied by Z is unknown, N is 750 by 60 into pressure is not known. Pressure is nothing but W by LD. W is 7.3 into 10 to the power of 3 by L is 50, D is 75. P by LD, W by LD is P. And next we have R by C. R by C can be written as D by C. Hence I can write it as 50 by 0.07 into 10 power minus 10 plus 0.002. So this is nothing but P is equal to W by LD. This you people already know. And this is nothing but R by small c is equal to D by capital C. Hence I get the value of dynamic viscosity as shift solve is equal to, if I solve, I will get the answer as 0.0123 Pascal second. 0.0123 Pascal second is the solution for this problem. Hence, the coefficient of friction for this problem is 2.88 in 10 to the power of minus 3, whereas the dynamic viscosity is 0.0123 Pascals second. So this completes our discussion on basics problem on journal bearing. In our next lecture, I will take up complete design of journal bearing. That's all from this lecture. Thank you all.